move myself here. Hey everybody, welcome back to Cruise Control. Here we go. Happy to have you here as always, and happy to have a brand new guest today. And I'm always excited to be with you guys. But as I was talking before, it's nice to have like sit downs, one-on-ones with interviews with everybody running for any kind of office, delegate, local board, president. We have Chuck Slavin on here too. Excited to sit down with him. I'm always excited to have new people here. So welcome back to Cruise Control. I should say welcome to Cruise Control. I always want to say welcome back to people, but you're always here in my heart. Miss Jessica Brown, how you doing, Jessica?
Hello. Hi.
I'll give you a round of applause. Number 203, running for delegate for SAG-AFTRA. So excited about that. And we were just having a little one-on-one beforehand, talking to a lot of people about these things. But let me ask you right now, what are you excited about when it comes to this? Because you haven't actually ran as a delegate before, right? This is your first time running?
Correct.
But you've been on a bunch of committees. And so you've been working your way in, trying to find your way. I think it's a great way to start is like, okay, like why are you running for SAG-AFTRA delegate?
So a lot of reasons. The main ultimate reason why I am running and I hope to be elected into the position is because I feel like my voice would bring a type of balance. Um, as we all are aware, if you've looked at the ballot, you would see that it's primarily dominant with the Coalition 2025 folks, which is not a bad thing, but it's just also great to have voices that might not run with the majority because they might bring different perspectives and ideas and experiences. And I feel like having my voice be in that majority as an independent or a lone wolf or whatever, it just it would just bring, I don't know, just something. I just feel like I would bring some other feedback that people might want to consider when we're at the table talking about important issues that span across background, which where I'm primarily at, and stand-ins and principal and dancers and broadcasters, and that's my primary reason of going in.
It's great though. It's great because I do feel like we need to have more of these independent voices that come in as well. There's a lot of people that aren't in the coalition that have ideas that are part of the general public of our union as well that just haven't had an opportunity to get their voice out there too. And I think there's a lot of people out there right now that are like also frustrated. We've been seeing it. Hence why I'm having these conversations too, because I think it's nice to have the frustrated voices out there, the people that are trying to get in here to help out that haven't had an opportunity to do that. And we have 160,000 members. There's a lot of us. We all deserve an opportunity. We just really do. And I think what you're saying right now is like getting that opportunity and diving in there is going to be fantastic for you. And I think because you have the independent voice, it's a new perspective. The coalition is great. I know a lot of people in the coalition. They're great people there. But we also have to let other people come into that coalition too. And I think that if you can do that and bring your knowledge in there, it's only going to help our union. Doing background work, doing stand-in work. You were in the boots on the ground. You've been doing a lot of that. That's tough work sometimes. And you see a lot of things a lot of people do not see that are negotiating these contracts, right? So is there something that you've seen that you really want to fight for if you get to become a delegate?
Ooh, I would say in an alternate universe, there would be an oversight committee. And that oversight committee would basically be just overseeing the union in operation behind the closed doors in public spaces. And it would just be a team of people, maybe not necessarily in the union, but they're just watching over everything, making sure everything is working properly and people are being cordial and
transparent and all of that, having everything be out there. I think that's a big
Yeah.
point. Like, there's a lot of times I understand what you're saying there, because an oversight would be very fascinating to find into our union, because we do not know what's happening a lot of times behind closed doors. I've said that multiple times, like running for president too. I'm like, we have to start being more open. We live in this world of technology right now. We can openly have a conversation with everybody at any moment's notice if we want to, like right now. Anybody can pop in and talk to us, answer questions. I think that can go a long way for our union if we do more of those meetings and more of those conversations. And even if it's not like an oversight committee, maybe a space like this can only help us even more. So have that regulation with it. Have more open transparency. I feel like things are just like always said, like these are secrets. Do not tell anybody. And I want less and less of that. Right? I feel like we need less and less of that.
Agreed. Secrets don't make friends.
No, they don't. Secrets don't. I say no more secrets in SAG-AFTRA. That's what I say. Let's be done with that. Let's be done. It rolls off the tongue just as well, right? I love it. But let's talk about two, because of course, 203 on the ballot, number 203. So that's a big deal, everybody. If you're voting right now, I know we're down to, like a week and a half, pretty much, right? Like if a week and
Literally, like this is the last week. Like
this is it. How's that feel? How's your campaign been? How's the campaign been going?
Oy. It's been an adventure. So we have the two candidates for president,
Yes.
Sean and Chuck, and it got to be very personal for me. I understand when you're making a vote, you're not just making a vote for yourself, you're making a vote for the entire membership. But for me, it just really came down to being personal, because I do have that committee experience. I do have that experience working with people that we don't necessarily broadcast our conversations out to the public, and the strikes. And
But you were a strike captain too, right?
I was a strike captain, and there's just so many things that happened, and I forgot the question entirely. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally good. I know how that goes. No, I'm just saying, like, okay, so you're running right now. Like, what's like one thing, like one massive, yeah, let's just get that one massive thing. Yeah, get into it. The floor is yours.
It's been scary, but it's been empowering, this election process. Like with Chuck, in those posts that he posted, I had already made a declaration of supporting Chuck, just for the fact that I had never personally experienced any of the racial things that his posts were implying, but I had experienced personally stuff from LA people. And so that's what ultimately led my decision to going towards Chuck. And the backlash that I got from speaking out my support of Chuck was something I had never experienced before. I can't be mad at the people because that's their right to
Yeah.
speak on how they feel, what they believe. And it would be just wrong of me to say, like, you can't say that to me, because I would be denying their experience. I'd be denying their truth. What I do have a problem with is people going from social media platform to another social media platform, seeking me out and saying, Jesse, you're this and that and this and that and this and that.
Oh, you were getting a lot of that.
People.
You were getting that from people you don't even know.
Right. And I get that's part of Hollywood, and that's the social media thing now. But it's just like, it was very jarring. And since Chuck had the interview with you, I feel like the climate has kind of calmed down a lot of it.
That's you made a really a riveting point about that too, because I even said that to Chuck in the interview, was like, what do you say to the people that maybe voted for you already, and now they're seeing these messages come out? Like, how do you respond to these people that might be like, did I make a bad decision? Did I not? Because people have voted already at this point. And I think that's interesting that they're like, okay, the interview was supposed to really be for me, and the whole, for the membership, is let this person speak. Like, they're on the ballot. they're running for a president, our national president. It's pretty big. You got only two choices on the ballot. I think people need to know like what that person actually stands for. And I would love to actually have Sean Astin and talk to him about what Chuck said as well. I think that'd be important for the membership. We need more open forums like that. But as that person, like, and you heard the interview, you said it's calming down a little bit. I like to hear that too, because I feel like we are 160,000 members. We have to come together and we have to let the people speak for themselves. And I think that's why I'm happy you're here too, is like to have the opportunity to speak about these things. If you were going to say something to the people that maybe caused some, the hate or maybe the divisiveness that caused from your support, what would you say to them now after that interview came out, where you're at in your election cycle right now, or I should say your campaign cycle?
Oof. Well, I think my PC answer would be you got to listen to both sides. You can't listen to one person and not listen to another, because then you're not being 100% informed, and you're not, when you go and speak whatever you desire to speak into the public without having the full knowledge of everything, you're speaking incorrectly, and the people that are receiving your message might not be equipped to properly decipher the message that they're receiving. And some people can be very irresponsible with the messages that they're receiving and become violent and aggressive. And so I would just ultimately want to say that, like, at the end of the day, everybody that is running for a position, they are running with the intent to do something for the union, whether it be good for themselves or the membership as a whole. Ultimately, everybody wants the union to be better. And the best way to become better is to be inclusive and not isolate, not defame, not slander, speak truth, and be informed. And I just keep going back, like, yes, Chuck made those posts. Yes, they are satire in, I mean, I'm a Mel Brooks fan, and I was appalled
Mel
by those
Brooks.
posts originally. But
I
after listening, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you up. I feel you. Like I saw those messages. I get the same thing. People are messaging me, and I was like, this is not the man that I have been speaking to, and so like I want to have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's find out what's going on. And you see the post, and it's jarring. Like it really affected me as well. Like a lot of people,
Yeah,
like you're saying, it affected you. And it's
yes.
like you have to we have to talk about it then. And then so you continue, sorry to cut you off, so it affected you when you saw that, but you had already voted for him. So what's going through your mind at that point?
I had a really tough conversation with my father. Like, what do I do? Like, my morals are here, but these are the options. And my
Yeah.
dad's just like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And I just had to give it time. I just had to give it a lot of space and a lot of praying that Chuck would sit down and talk about his perspective, and which ultimately he did with you. And that really helped comfort my anxiety. Like, did I really just vote for somebody that I am just 100, like, the posts, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Couldn't
that
be
all of
farther
that.
apart from. Yeah.
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 And so hearing the clarity from him was really important. And to Sean, like, yes, we all know him as the Goonies, Mikey, Rudy, 10, was it
Lord of the
Tiny,
Rings.
10 Soldiers? Like, we know Sean Ashton. I am a Goonie, but still, politics. We need to know Sean Ashton. We don't need to know Samwise Granger. We've already seen him. We need to hear from Sean Ashton. He needs to come and talk to us so we can ask questions. We need to be able to see his rationality when he's put under pressure. And, like, all of that matters. And we need to be able to know that we can go to him with the tough questions, the things that will make him uncomfortable or that might be bad optics for SAG AFTRA. We need to be able to have conversations. And if you're always dipping and dodging and not making yourself accessible, like
I think we
eventually,
need to be accessible to all our membership. We need to be. I mean, if you're running for any cabinet position, board position, leader, I think it's important. I think that's one thing we are missing in the union is like debates, conversation, town halls, open forums. Like I think we're missing that. I think the infrastructure is not there though too. I think they've never built it. They never thought about it. But in this day and age, we should be able to do it. I would love to hear from Sean Astin too. I 100% agree with you. I think that it matters a lot to stand up and just like say, hey, this is why I'm running and this is who I am and I'm here to answer your questions. And that's one of the reasons why, like Jessica, just like as I was running, I was like, I want to be the most transparent person and be as open on platforms like this. Ask me any question. I'm an open book. Let's go. And I think a lot of us need to be like that because we live in this generation of being able to be an open book. And that's why I love too. You are an open book. You actually wrote a book as well about the whole background community, right? Which I think is fantastic. How to be a background actor, which I think is fantastic. And then you've been writing for years too. So I want to get people to know, I know like the Chuck thing's always lingering in there, but I want to talk to you about you because people, if they're voting right now and we're diving into it, let us know more about you. Now I know you moved here. You were saying like 20 years ago. Is that what you said? 20 years?
it's getting blurry. It's getting blurry. I don't
I'm not
know
trying
anymore.
to date you. I'm not trying to date you. When did you join SAG-AFTRA? Let me ask you that. When did you join SAG-AFTRA?
It was 2021. I actually just made a video about this and I said 2001. That was very
Yeah.
incorrect on my part. It's 2021.
I thought that's what it was. That's why I wanted to clarify too. I thought that's what that was. So I just wanted to clarify. So yeah, but you joined like right after pretty much the strikes, right in that time, right?
Before the strikes. Yeah, it was like during COVID. Because as soon as I joined the union, I found out the union from the union background awards. I went as a guest, as a non-union, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. I want to volunteer. I want to help." And it's like, "Nope, you're not union." It's like, "Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, shit."
yeah, right.
It's like,
But I want to help. No, you're good. Hey, we're definitely not a PG platform right here. We're open. That's you being you. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean. But yeah, so I was like right before the strikes, 2021. That's right, strikes were like 2023. So you read before, and then you get into the union, and you've been doing non-union work before. You said you're producing your own stuff, right? You did like you were doing theater before over at Diablo School, right? You were doing theater that got you some love, and then also then you started producing and doing adaptations as well. So like, how did that lead you towards the acting? Was the acting always the goal, or was the writing? Because you're saying I heard from you earlier that your father, your grandfather, a lot of writers in your family, right? A lot of writers. So where's the actor come from?
you know, I think if I were to really think about it, I think it was always there because when I was a young little kid in Urbandale, my neighbor took me to a vacation Bible school. I think I was like 9, 10 at the time, and we had to do a safari scene, and it was like the funnest thing I had ever experienced at that point in time. Like I had my cute little cargo costume. My mom, she went all out for me, and I had like a safari hat, and I just remember this little bit where we were riding in the cart just like Indiana Jones. And that I remember that moment, and I think that was what it's like. Oh, that's fun. But it didn't come back until I moved to. Um, no, correction. I auditioned for the musical Cinderella in high school, and I went after the popular cheerleader person. I was like, oh, okay, so no, not doing this. And then moved to California, and the first thing I took was musical theater, and it's just been the theater bug got me, and I've
It
been
happens, right? It draws it. Once it bites you, it got me too. Once it bites you, you're done. That's it.
it's a
Locked in.
wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah, man. My first play was Annie Get Your Gun, and
Oh,
I wasn't even gonna do it. I waited for a friend. He knew he wanted to audition. I waited to give him a ride, and then I auditioned for it because I was waiting. And then I got cast, and I was like, "This is it. This is my life." So I know that same feeling. It got me too, and I was like 15 years old, and like, I guess this is my life. Let's go.
that's it.
Which that being said, that led you to doing like your own productions too, the Unnamed, having the Unnamed, a sold out theater. That's got to feel pretty fantastic as well, right?
It was a very big learning experience. It was my first very unofficial contract film production experience, a lot of tough learning lessons, but ultimately for the producer and I to accomplish what we did at that time, it just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And I feel as a black woman filmmaker to had accomplished what we did, I'm just over the moon about the experience, and I hope to be able to show it to the world someday. But yeah.
Is it anywhere we can see it, or is it kind of like tucked away right now?
Well, the producers kind of got it under wrap and key.
I know how that
I
goes.
do have my own copy, so
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
have a friend party and like
Have a friend party. Put it out there. Have a friend party. It's always fun. And then, yeah, and that's the thing too. Sometimes when these projects get locked in like that, you can't get them out. It's just like you're at their mercy, right? And so you hope, you push, you try your best, but the power is out of your hands. And I
yeah.
feel like the power is out of our hands too a lot as background artists as well. And you've been doing background for a long time. You were invited to the Blurries. I saw that, right? You were part of the Blurries, the background awards. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that's now it's called. I don't know if it was called the Blurries back then, but I know like it's been developing every year. But was that when was that 2017? Did you say
2025.
2025? I was way off. 2025. So you were at the Blurries. How fun is that? That's got to feel great, right? Going to one of those award shows.
I mean, in theory, like, okay,
I was there
so
that
I'm
same
just gonna.
time then. I was there that same time. I was there in that same audience. I was there then, 2025.
It was fun, but they didn't put my name on the guest list.
Ah,
So when I arrived, they're like, "Who are you? Are you sure you're in the right spot?"
yes, I
I'm
am.
just like,
Yes,
"I'm
I am.
nominated." So I mean, eh,
Yeah.
it was fun to be nominated, and yeah.
What was your category?
Feature background.
Nice. For people that don't
Um,
know out there, the Blurries are kind of like, I guess, we have the Oscars, we have the Emmys, we have all that. Well, we have the Blurries. It's just been going on for like 7 years, something like that, where they actually recognize background artists, stand-ins. They have a Lifetime Achievement Award for background artists. They also bring in ADs, the best AD. They have all these different categories. I think it's an amazing thing that's growing. But it's a fantastic way to honor us. I wish we had that like attached to SAG-AFTRA sometime. I wish we had that. Come on Netflix. We could do this on Netflix. Come on, we can make that happen, right?
yes,
Why?
exactly. I
It'd be
think
fun.
is that Jolie who was there,
Yeah, she was
or
there.
was
Yeah,
it?
Julie Fisher was there. Yeah, yeah, she had showed
I
up.
think that's her big push. One of her big pushes to make this an official thing.
I would be all about
No,
that too. I think it'd
yeah.
be a great thing to do. Even if it just becomes its own thing, or maybe even, come on, eventually get us into the SAG Awards. I think we should be able to be in the SAG Awards somehow, some kind of recognition.
I Yeah, I just think it's crazy. No shade to influencers. I just think it's really crazy that influencers are invited to the awards before actual SAG actors. But that's just me. That's
Yeah.
just me. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so like being involved with that, and also being involved, of course, local politics. I know I saw you were been pushing going to local board meetings and pushing. So you're pushing here too. What are you bringing from that knowledge over to SAG when you're running as delegate?
I just keeping an open mind, and there's I'm a big believer in ABC conversations. Um, I understand that a lot of us are very passionate about what we believe in, what we'll stand for, and I am a big believer in letting every person say exactly what they need to say for as long as it needs to take. And then if I'm in the able to speak, then I would say what I need to say, and then see we find a resolution, common ground. That's something that my parents instilled to me. My mom being a teacher, and that's just something I've carried with me for all 41 of my years of life. And um, just, just keeping in focus that we're all here for a common goal, And how we get to that goal, it will shift just like a film production changes all the time. So I myself need to not have an ego and be able to pivot with the team and just staying focused on what we're trying to achieve as a team, and try to take myself out of it. But um, that's always a lesson for me. Sorry.
No, I love that. Don't no, yeah, I'm all over the place. I love that because I think the idea is like right now, especially where we're at with our union, we have to start listening to each other and listening to the voices that are maybe frustrated because there are people that are very frustrated. There are people that are happy with the trajectory, but there's a lot of frustrated voices. So how do we get those people to work with the people that are like, well, everything's great. We have to find that common ground. And as a delegate, of course, they have these big meetings where there's like hundreds of us coming together, having opinions, ideas, or pushing forward. You can have that voice come forward. And we need more people, I think, that are like you too, that are going to say, hey, let's have a conversation. I know maybe we're not going to relate 100%. I love that idea because we all come from different walks of life. We're not going to relate right away, but let's find out how you feel, how I feel. Let's find that common ground and let's get something that's great for the union. And I think that's what we need more of. And I think that if you're doing that and that message is coming through, that could resonate with members right now because members want to have their voices heard, but they also want to find out how we find that common ground. Do you think that's possible? Can we get there? That we can find that common ground?
I see. I don't know because, like, I'm still kind of green, still kind of a baby to the union, and one of the most disheartening things that I will periodically experience is I will speak out about my experiences with the union, and oftentimes when I speak out, somebody else will come to me and say, "Hey, Jesse, I've experienced something similar," or "I've experienced this," or "I've experienced that," and that I feel so helpless because I know there's literally nothing I can do for them but just listen. And so it's an instilled problem. I mean, these things that I'm hearing about now or periodically, these are things that I was hearing about before joining the union. Like, you can go into social media and you can look at the old posts from previous whatever people, and like they're still there for people to reference and read. And so it's like, until members that are in the position are ready and willing to be open to have space for the other people that might not be in their image of what the membership looks like, we're just going to be stuck in this pattern of
This is it. This is it.
this
Right?
is
This is
it.
it. Which is
This
never, it's complacency a lot of ways, complacency, as opposed to actually pushing it and helping our members all have voices that can actually be pushed forward from all walks of life and doing background too on top of that as well. I imagine you've seen a lot. You're saying you have people that have come to you with the same kind of issues that you have and you believe that need to be fixed though too. Do you think we need more people from the background world to be actually standing up for leadership as well? Do you think that would actually help the membership grow and help the union be better and thrive better?
So I don't know, like,
Because it's a
I
big
don't know. I
debate right
just
now.
feel
It's like celebrities, background, where do we fall? That's a big debate right now.
I guess the way I think about it is like, you can't build a house on a weak foundation. And if this house is built with sticks and we keep bringing in people with a bunch of matches and somebody strikes the match the wrong way, we're all going to be screwed. We're all not going to have a home. And so I just feel like in order for us to really build to the vision that we all are asking for, we have to address and fix the internal issues first. And these elections is a great way to start on fixing the foundation. And once our foundation is fixed, I would say anybody and everybody should be running for a position, because at the end of the day, you're providing a perspective. You have, like, I will never understand the life of a white man. I can always pretend, I can always try to write it, but I will always miss nuances because I don't live that life. I am potentially disabled. I've never been properly mentally tested. I probably should be, but um,
Hey, we're actors. We're all a little bit off. I'm just saying, if you're an actor, you're a little bit off. I mean, I personally this guy as well. I will attest to that.
like, yeah, like there's just like the letters that Anne Marie uh, Johnson wrote and Dunbar, like,
Let's talk about those. Yeah, those were big, right? They're big people from our actual leadership that are come forward talking about this time, and you know that been in the union for years, decades, and they're saying, "Hey, there's a problem right now." How did that affect you too?
oh, I feel validated. I love those. I love those letters because if there's, as of right now, there is no legal recourse for any person that experiences bullying, mobbing, whatever, in the workplace. And sometimes I just feel like our union knows that and they are able to do things, find the workarounds to legally do what they do. And I mean, said it openly at the membership meeting in May that sometimes it feels like we operate as a mafia. And saying that as who I am means absolutely nothing. But when it comes from somebody such as Anne Marie Johnson and Maya Dunbar, I feel like that means something. And so for about 3, 4 years, I felt like I was going crazy. And then suddenly these letters drop like, this is happening. That
Yeah,
just,
look at our
it,
union.
it made me feel so heard and validated, not crazy. And I don't want to be a person that slanders another person's name, but I also want to be a truth teller. And I feel like there's a lot of truth in those letters. And I think Cat Williams said it best. Like, if you don't want me to talk bad about you, you should have treated me right in the first place.
Love Cat
And
Williams.
so I love the letters, and I don't know if anybody's watching this will watch this because it's me, but I do sincerely hope that if people are watching this and they do watch this, they do give a good, conscious, good faith effort in listening to the opposition voices because
We're all in this together. We really are. We're all in the same boat. We're a labor union. I keep saying to people, I get politics will divide people, and there's stuff that I will not agree with other people that are maybe running or maybe on the board or maybe the committees. It happens. But what comes down is the best for this 160,000 membership of a labor union. It's a lot of people that are trying to get jobs, work in Hollywood, create a career path. It shouldn't be political, but of course, politics will come in, especially in the grand spectrum. If we have to go to Washington, deal with stuff, it can come into play. But I think at the end of the day, we have to find a way where we work together and we're doing it together. And we're finding ways to talk to everybody and figure out what the big quorums are internally in our union as opposed to our world quorums. Those are going to be bigger than we can actually handle. What we handle here is in our union. And when we get more voices, I think, that want to fight and like stand up for the union and for everybody, that's only going to make us a stronger union because we're working together. I still think this, not to rant on this, but I think in the world we live in, I think the best thing is to have voices from every different perspective, everybody that actually can, everybody should be represented at the table. That's how we were built globally. That's how we fundamentally have been built. And every voice comes together to work out for every member of that country, of that community, of that membership, so we can do right by everybody. And we should be doing that now. We should be. We should be. We can be. We will get better about it. We have to listen. We found out in this election cycle, people are frustrated. There's frustrated people like you've been, like Chuck has been, and I see it across the independent cycle as opposed to, I see it in the coalition as well. There's frustration in the coalition as well. So we got to find a way to come together. And also, I want to talk about your policies some more. So we're talking about things you've seen that have upset you. So dive into that some more too. Like, what else has upset you that you would like to start pushing for? Because is delegate the end, or would you like to go on to board member as well?
like I I always want to go as far as I can be. Like I've always joked, I would love to be president of the United States, and
Yeah.
low key, that's not a joke. A part of me would love to be the president of the United States. So that's an alternate universe. But there's one thing that I've noticed personally is that ideas aren't necessarily always passed along.
Yeah.
If they are submitted, they're stopped, in my experience, with staff. It doesn't reach committees. And we always say that this is a member ran union, but in my experience, everything stops with staff. It goes to staff and it stops with staff, in my experience. And I would just, this kind of goes back to the oversight committee. I would propose that we bring some people in to make sure staff is working for us and not against us. Um, I would love to bring about a unity ball. We always talk about solidarity, one fight, one union. Well, let's celebrate each other. Let's because there's always the Oscars, the SAG Awards, where it's for certain groups of people. We should be able to have a celebration where all the unions can go to one hall, get glammed up, and just be like, hey, I saw your work. I was background, or I was a stand in, and or I
I
was a
love that.
crew and stuff like that. I would love to see an actual 48-hour film competition amongst the unions. Keep our skills sharp in these downtimes where we're not always working. SAG certification, cert certification. That is something that I sent to SAG. I think it was January 8th, around about. We should be with we should there's enough of us members here that, from what I noticed from the wildfires, was that there was not enough people to help initially and legally. But with as many members as we have, we can essentially form a certified team to be able to help with natural disasters as they happen, and legally help. Like we can actually go into the spaces and help, and not help from a distance. Um, I would love to see the background actors get a star in Hollywood. I think that would just be fantastic.
Even if it's
uh,
like background artists, actors, if it's like just like even a star for that, but it'd be nice for the people that are rising up though too, right? Be cool,
yes,
especially people that have given like decades of their lives. That'd
20
be fun.
years. I met on Grey's Anatomy a background actor that has been there since season one.
Woo,
Season,
woo.
that is incredible.
Yeah, right.
If
I'll
you're
give that
kidding
round
me,
of applause. Yes.
I would love to. Sorry.
No, I'm saying 100%. I'm just saying to be there that long. It's amazing. It's definitely like a big part of your life you've given to that production, to Hollywood, and people don't even. It's like the unsung heroes sometimes, right? And I feel like that happens. And I think there have been strides towards the background community in the recent past few years. Of course, the last contract, but I still think there's this aura, this essence. I tell people too that I like to look at background, and we got to fix that. Still, that's still there. We got to fix that.
That's another thing. I would love to bring back bit pay for background actors.
I
I would
agree.
love to get them. I mean, if you're a featured background actor, you should be listed in the credits, and there should be a little bit of a whatever that residual pay or whatever for being featured. Because I mean, at the end of the day, or at least in my experience, you're working alongside the principal. You're having to might do a rehearsal with the principal. You might have to audition for that featured role, and you have to might because there might be a line. I mean that's another contract. But I mean at the end of the day, you're doing what professional actors would do. You're just a featured background actor as a title. So I really bothers me that we can't list our featured roles on resumes. We are told not to have a resume. Like, we
Yeah.
should be listed in the credits. If we're
There's
there for
yeah.
12, 16 hours along with the crew, why not? we're part of the actual picture. Um, that's one thing. And then let's see here. I would love to see transportation provided, safety rides. There's a lot of people that don't drive, and some of these sets are just way out. Like there'll be base camp here, but you'll have to walk across the country to get to your car or whatever. I would love to see like as a van at the nearest bus depot or the nearest train station and just helps transport background to and from the base camp to kind of like what they do in New York. But I would love to see that brought here.
There's
Let's
stuff
see
that
here.
happens in New York that doesn't happen here all the time. You make that up though. You said bring that point up, but yeah, like even having the SAG actors around the main cast members at all times. They do that in New York. They don't do that here too. In case those upgrade situations happen on set, I think we should be implementing. You're right. Some of these things from New York here that makes sense.
Yep.
Night pay is another one.
Night pay. That's a huge one.
It's a huge one.
And
Sorry,
I
continue.
would
Keep
love
getting in there.
I would love to do something with iActor and town halls. I posted something about this on Facebook a week or so ago, and I got a
Oh,
lot of heat. I was
really?
expecting.
About iActor?
Yeah.
What
I
kind
mean,
of heat?
I I think that's just what one of the things that we're up against in terms of the union is you have a lot of legacy seated individuals, and here I am with a different take and idea of what could happen or how to potentially go about something, and you present that idea to legacy members and it's just immediately shot down for X, Y, and Z reason, no discussion. And if there's a little bit of a, well, I know this better than you because I am a legacy person. And it's like, okay, I respect that. You have the experience, the knowledge or whatever, but I also have ex- different type of perspective, and it should be like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm right. I'm not saying it's going to be the solution to solve anything, but maybe just consider.
Let's have a
And
conversation.
yeah.
But I don't understand. Like iActor seems like I feel like there's such untapped potential in iActor. It just sits
Oh my
there.
god. It just, like, in my head, it just makes so much sense, and I freaking love what could happen with it, and then just the idea of the casting agencies being able to, or booking companies being able to utilize it, at least how I'm envisioning it. It just makes sense, and it just makes things feel more efficient in some way.
Yeah. As opposed to having like central casting or all these big different companies being in control of a lot of this too. It's like, even like the casting companies, this would be nice. It would help us get agencies, I think. It would help us again get booked. It could use this on a lot of levels that we've never even gravitated towards or even asked to do with it. Like why was it made? Why do we make it? That's my question. We never use it. Why is it there? Why we spend how much? They probably, you think about how much money they probably spent on it to develop that a database, all of us, and we just let it sit there as if it's like a toy. Like I would love to start utilizing that too. I think that'd be great. Even if you started here in LA and then you branched off across the rest of the country, I think that could help a lot of actors out, especially like starting off. Like if you're starting off, you don't know. Like at least have agencies go towards that to look for new talent. That'd be cool.
Yes. And I think I would love to see, I mean, yes, keep auditioning people that are within, already established in their agents or whatever, but like, I would love for shows to pull background into more like co-star roles, and I feel like iActor would be a great way to help get that to happen.
It's making it a path actually, which you're trying, which is why I keep saying making it an actual opportunity based environment and employment for actors as opposed to being like a shut club. And I know people always tell me that, well, this is acting, we knew what we were getting ourselves into, but yeah, but doesn't mean we have to leave it that way. It doesn't mean we
Right.
can't start asking questions and putting ideas out there that might make it actually easier for the next generation to become an actor. We're here now.
Yeah.
We're dealing with the struggle. Like I totally believe what you're saying. That we should be able to do something. And that's like a tool. It's a massive tool. And then even the ride stuff. I know a lot of actors. I had a friend when I first started out here too. We were doing stuff in Long Beach, and he's taking a train from like up in like the valley to Long Beach. It would take him like 3 hours sometimes to get down there just to get to work. Like these locations are far sometimes. Maybe there is a
Yeah.
solution with there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it comes up. Maybe it's maybe shuttles, like you're saying, or getting production to help out with shuttles. That'd be nice. So that's a battle
Oh,
we could fight for. But you have a lot of ideas. Have you been proposing these in your committees too? Because you're in committees, you're saying as well, right? What committees are you
I
involved with again?
I finished the background committee, did that whole term, and I actually dropped out of two of them because, again, the internal
The battle.
atmosphere just wasn't right for me, and it
Yeah.
happens.
Is that what something that pushed you towards running for a delegate? Then you felt like maybe you'll have more of a voice if you become a delegate.
You know, not necessarily, because I like when I think about it now, like if I were to be sat, my biggest fear is just a continuation of experiences of what I have experienced up to this point. And not all of those experiences were good. I was going through some of my pictures from over the past couple of years, and I just had bald spots all over my head from stress. And some of that was from my living situation too, but just like I do have a lot of fears about if I were to be sat. And I just, at the same time, I just feel like I just convinced myself that this is important. It's larger than me. God gives his uh, toughest life to his toughest soldiers. I like to believe, and if I want to be effective in helping people, I have to be able to deal with whatever people throw at me, and that's all the good and the bad. And so I'm nervous. I'm nervous about
Huh?
being sat because I am a crybaby. I don't
hey,
I
hey, come
don't
on. No.
and I don't like to make people mad. I don't like drama, but I don't like to be ran over either. I don't like to be pushed into a corner. I don't like being told you can't do that without having a discussion first. And so that's and then just knowing the other taking myself out of it, just knowing that there are people out there that have had less than favorable experiences, and knowing that I am not necessarily scared, but I am scared to go up against the grain to try to help. I will do that, and it's
That
important.
machine. It's tough, that machine. Independent as well, right? You're running independent. Like that's why I said to Chuck as well. I talked to him running independent. Do you feel like it's like on an immovable wall, like it's almost impossible, or do you see like you're cracking through it, you're getting through the cracks, and you see that there's a good chance you might win this?
You know, the way I look at it is regardless if I do get sad or not, I'm still going to be showing up and turning out and helping them the ways I can because
Yeah.
I've been pushed out for so long. I actually wrote a letter. Uh, I think I sent it to what's her name? Oh, that's embarrassing. Fran.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And if I can't pay to play, why am I even in the union? Because all I ever wanted to do was to be able to help the union, and I would submit ideas and I would just hit a brick wall. And if people tell you they don't want you involved, then why? But at the end of the day, it's larger than me. There's people that will absolutely not speak up the fear of because of fear. And I totally forgot the question. I'm so sorry.
No. I mean, we're all in the same wheelhouse here about this. But yeah, the fear we're talking about, like running and like standing up and being independent, and like what is that? It's got to be a tough struggle, which it is. And you answered that beautifully. It is. It's a pain going against it, and you worry about like going against that machine, but you also worry about the stress. Can you do something? Will they stop you? Is it going to be a problem for your career? I mean, it's hard to be that voice in the room. A lot of people won't be that voice in the room. And you find that more and more. A lot of membership don't even vote, let alone want to stand up and serve. So it's a great thing what you're doing to stand up and try to stand up for members. I think that's a fantastic thing, using your voice. And I get the pressure of the idea of actually being seated and what that means for that next opportunity and that next step. But honestly, the conversation I'm having with you right now, I feel like you do great. It seems like you really have a passion, a love for it. I feel the same way you about being walked over. I hate that. My mother always told me, Brian, she goes, if you don't lay down, you can't be walked over. And I'm like, okay, mom. So I'm trying to be like that too. But you got to stand up and you got to use your voice. And I think you have a great voice for this too. And honestly, I think if you get seated in the delegate, you bring that there, it's only going to be heard. I think it'll be heard more. I hope it does. I really hope it does. And you know what? Don't be scared about it. Be proud and be excited, because that's what you should be, because you are. I'm excited for you, and I'm proud of you too for standing up. It means a
Thank you,
lot to a
Kevin.
lot of membership. Yeah, it means a lot to everybody. What do you say to people though? I mean, again, we have, like I said, less than a week, pretty much. It's like a week and a couple days. We can change. What do you say to them right now? Why they should vote for you? If they haven't voted, it's still sitting there. What do you say to them? Why should they vote for you?
Like, only vote for me because you feel moved to vote for me. If I know I am probably one of the most misunderstood people in this industry in the city of Los Angeles, because my narrative gets ran around a lot and I can't control that. And so all I can hope is that you try to learn about me, you try to ask questions if you feel compelled to, and if you don't, I respect it. If I don't get sat, it's because it just wasn't meant to be, and I respect it. And I am who I am. And I I don't want to tell anybody who to vote for. I just don't believe in that. Like, I will probably give you every reason why not to vote for me before I tell you to vote for me, because it's something you have to learn for yourself. And like I I'm such a strange person. Like, I don't know.
You don't seem like a strange. Like I said before, you don't seem like a strange person at all. First of all, you're a very lovely human being, but also, like, we're all a little strange. I'm gonna say again, we are a little strange. If you ever want to be like a professional actor at all, we're a little strange. But I feel like you have a lot of dedication to this and a lot of great ideas. And all it takes is trying. A lot of people don't try. They say, I want to do this and I want to do that, but they don't stand up and actually try to do something about it. And you are doing that. And you are putting yourself out there. And as I always say too, it's always no unless you try. And I'm happy you're trying, because you wouldn't know you'd be seated unless you put your name out there. And you're fighting for causes that you believe in. That goes a long way. The membership will see that too. And I'm happy to get any kind of opportunity to put your voice out there too. I love having people here talking about the union stuff. It matters. We need more of these kind of opportunities too. We need more of this.
Any of the candidates, delegates, people out there, like, come on to this. Come on to this and talk your business.
Come
We
hang
need to
out.
know who you are.
Yeah, I love it. I like to have all the conversations. And I also love that, not to like step from that book, though, the book you wrote too, Jumpstart into Background Acting. Like, that's awesome. See, that shows you how much you care about this, everybody, that you're actually writing a book and taking time to help other people out, which when I saw that, I'm like, well, this is a whole, I was going through it. I'm like, there's a lot here. I'm going to read through the whole thing. I can't wait to see everything that you have. Is there any like ideas that stuff you've learned probably along the way, of course, but any ideas for aspiring actors? Are they in that book at all? Any kind of inspiring actor ideas?
You know, I think I pretty much mainly covered about, like, just what you can do to make the experience easier for you. Um, I kind of try to set up the expectations of what you would be walking into. If I were to give any advice to actors that are wanting to maybe get further than background or stand out while doing background, like, be good to each other on set, help each other on set, not just the other background players, but crew. I know it's frowned upon to bring extra changes of clothes because it's now in our contract. We only have one or whatever. But when you're bringing choices, you're making the job easier for the costumers, and they're going to appreciate you for that. So it's like, and then like helping give directions, or like give, like I was on I don't know if I should say the name, Running Point, but I was there the other day. I was there last season as a background actor, and I was there the other day as a stand-in. And sweet lady Nicole, she was so sweet. That never happens. That never happens. She immediately gave me the rundown of the set, who was who, and was just trying to, she was very insistent on getting me a chair, and I was like, lady, in my head I'm like, lady, I don't need a chair, but I love you, thank you.
I'm here again. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, I love when you get
Like,
people like that though that are helping you like that. They care, and you find those people, you gravitate to them too. Like, why do we not have more people like that? You know, they're there,
yeah,
but there's
but
also the other side too.
yeah, so I would just encourage people to be helpful, be nice, be kind. And yes, we love the camera because we're actors, but don't step on other actors to try to get that camera time, because the directors will notice and they will pull you out, and then you will not be asked back.
You're gone. Yeah, right. It happens all. It happens all the time. People like get in there and they just try to like make a big. Well, this is my moment. This is my moment to shine. You're like, okay, calm down, calm down. You'll get there. If they want you there, you'll get there. Especially when you become regulars on shows too. For fun, before we take off, what is the best experience you had on set?
I People are gonna crap on me for this, but Joker 2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I loved it. I was a jury member, and I got to watch Joaquin Phoenix do masterclass of acting for 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. And Todd Phillips, seeing how he directed, seeing how, oh, I forgot the cinematographer's name, and the all the, like, everything about being in that jury scene was just phenomenal, masterclass. I'll never get that. Well, I don't want to say never. I want to do Ghostbusters 3. Hello.
Hey, make it happen. I love seeing Ghostbusters. Come on, you're not going to stop with
that
those. You know, those are going to keep going. Come on.
that was just a beautiful experience, and I hope Joaquin's not smoking anymore, because he was the
Oh, a
American
lot.
Spirit Factory. on
Cloud of smoke
um,
following him everywhere he goes.
he was just
Yeah.
so committed. He was just so freaking committed, and just very passionate about bringing a very good portrayal of what the director was asking of him, and it was masterclass. Chef's kiss. Mwah!
Yeah, love that. Love that. I thought about one more thing before we take off. You have gone through like some pain too. Like you got in that car accident. This will show people how dedicated that Jessica is. Like you went through a car accident, and like this whole like the film festival was supposed to stop. They're gonna stop it, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, no. No, the show must go on. And you got in there and you put yourself out there, even though you were just hit by a car. And I think that shows a lot for your character as well. When I heard that and I saw that part of your story, I'm like, that shows you if you really care about this and you've put your name on something. To me personally, as someone, an outsider looking in, it seems like you're the kind of person that will not give up and make sure you give it your all. And I really applaud you for that, because that was amazing to hear. It's such a sad like moment, but also like a riveting, pivotal moment to show your character. And I imagine it probably felt that way. Everybody probably felt that way when they saw you step up and appear there. How hard was that for you to do? Was that hard? Had to been.
I, if it's, I think this is where the disability comes in, because I just don't know any difference. I just, my mind is like, Jesse, you got to do this. You're going to do this, and you're just going to be incredibly unhappy if you don't try. And I, it just, my soul just doesn't know when to stop. It just doesn't know, and
Mhm.
I don't know. It's important because, I mean, to this day, Black women still don't get the opportunities that we rightfully deserve. And that was an opportunity. Like, I forget who it was, but it was either Lowe's or Home Depot, but they donated all of the poles for that event. And that just does not happen. People don't just donate thousands of dollars to a sole individual with an idea. And they did that. And John Stanley, the from I forgot what the show was called in San Francisco, but he was the master of ceremonies, and he was just so kind about the whole experience. And so, like, I was not gonna let this or with the car break up that opportunity, because it literally was a once in a lifetime. I have not had the ability to lead something like that again, and so yeah,
But if you
it
win now,
was
you'll have a chance to stand up and lead again. So, and I know you're not going to give up.
no, no,
Yeah. And
no.
you may have said once in a lifetime then, but you know what? That was that lifetime. There's a new lifetime coming for you that will have more opportunities like that. I know it. And I'm excited for you. I applaud you for standing up and running. It matters a lot to a lot of membership. I know people say all the time, like, thank you for doing this. I will say the same thing to you. Thank you for putting yourself out there. And good luck with your campaign. I'm excited to find out what happens a week from Friday. What happens? I know, a week from
Ah!
Friday. Wild, right? Anyways, Jessica, thank you for being here on Cruise Control. I appreciate you. I really do. I hope you had a great
Likewise,
time being here. Do you have one more last minute thing you want to say to people before we take off? Anything?
be kind. Go watch Ghostbusters and rewind.
I love that. Thank you, Jessica. Fantastic sitting down with you again. Jessica Brown, number 203 on your ballots right now. If you want to vote for Jessica, go for it right now. You've heard her side of the story. Any more questions, reach out to us and we'll get it her way. Thank you, Jessica, for being here. Appreciate you. And, you enjoy the rest of the day. Hopefully, catch you again on Cruise Control.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Have a good day. See you soon. Take care, everybody. See ya.